This is the MTPredictor weekly update for June 19th. Here we've got the Dow, the cash Dow here. I'm going to show you the current, the Elliott wave pattern that formed. We've been watching this for a while, and clicking on our advanced chart analysis tool, and you can see there's our 5-wave pattern in the weekly Dow. And we came up to the minimum wave 5 resistance, and you see we got this decision point sell signal, wave 5 up. DP is a typically end of trend. It's also telling us at that point that we had a higher high in price, but we actually ended up having a lower high in our oscillator here, so it was picking up some divergence there as well. So the next support level below 12,000 in the Dow is this decision point off the wave 4 swing. That sits starting right around 11,375, 380 area will be the beginning of that support. And you can see if I put the analysis on here, that in fact is the target on this weekly sell signal in the Dow. Bigger trend is still up. It's gone back from neutral to up. So we'll see if it finds support. There's daily support in this 12,000 area. We've talked about that for a couple of weeks now. But below that will be this decision point support area around that 11,390. It looks like is the top of the box there. So we'll look and see how that plays out. Now we've also been tracking Goldman Sachs to give us maybe a heads up on market direction, see how the banks overall are going to be doing. And you can see we have this decision point buy signal. Again, we've got some divergence here on our oscillator. And this same time last year, we also got a decision point buy signal at the same support area. In fact, you had two subsequent one here that formed July 1st last year. This one formed June 10th, as this one formed June 8th. So I mean, literally almost within a couple of days, same time last year, we had these DP buy signals at the same support area last summer, and you can actually go back another year, and the market found support at this area as well in Goldman Sachs. So we're going to see, you see the target there. I can make this a little bigger here. But you can see the target there at 143.65. And now we'll have some support back down here in that 130 area. So we'll see how this plays out and see if this holds up. Remember, this month we've got the end of QE2. We don't know exactly how that's going to impact the market. We also have the FOMC meeting begins this week, Tuesday, and the Fed announcement will be on Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time now. Remember, they bumped it up, and at 2:15 is the press conference that the Fed Chairman Bernanke will be giving. That's on Wednesday, so we got a lot of news this week. Monday's actually a pretty light news day, but Tuesday with the existing home sales and the beginning of the Fed meeting, Fed announcement on Wednesday, jobless claims on Thursday, with new home sales and GDP on Friday. So a big news week. Plus we've got earnings. We're going to be heading into earnings season in a couple of weeks, and the market likes to rally into earnings season. So we'll see if that in fact does happen. So a lot of things going on. It'll be interesting to see how this all gets resolved. Here is the BKX, the banking index, and you can see I had pointed out a little head and shoulders pattern that was forming here. They have not broken that neckline, and it seems to be holding support there. If we do get a break of that line, then we may see some more downside, and we'd have to watch Goldman as well and see how that fares if this little neckline ends up getting broken there. Here's our daily chart of gold. You can see it is still holding that 50-day moving average, this red line support here. You've got now, we can put some additional resistance right in this area, which will come in right around, we'll call 1560 area, and then just above that will be 1590, 1591 area with the resistance there. Silver, if you want to take a quick peek at that, again, still in this kind of major wave 4 support area. It is below its 50-day. Silver's more volatile than gold. You'll see it violate its 50-day, 200-day. But the one you really want to watch, even if you're looking at purchasing silver, is gold. Again, those areas below the 50-day and above the 200-day have been good buying opportunities for a number of years now. You can see the MTPredictor buy signals that are under the 50-day, above the 200-day have been very, very good. Alright, so we'll take a peek now at how we set up our trading day using the E-minis, using the MTPredictor software. Let's just take a look at the 15-minute chart on the S&P. I'm going to clear this all off here. And what we do is we use our 15-minute charts to map out our support and resistance for the day, and then we'll look to trade on the 3-minute or 5-minute time frame. So I'm going to take my decision point tool here, click on the prior swing from Friday, and that gives us a major resistance area. Got another one up here off this prior swing, gives us some more resistance. If the market does gap up here on Monday when the market opens or into this area, we know that's going to be resistance. It may be an area to potentially to trade in. And then to the downside, we'll wait for the market to open, and we may get a swing here if the market opens higher. So we may have some support in here, but we can use this prior support here. It's going to be major support on the S&P. And you can see actually this prior swing called the low on Friday, and that's what we look for these to do. So we'll put those on in each of the E-minis on the 15-minute chart, so we know where our major support and resistance are. And then we'll come down to the 3-minute chart. Here's the 3-minute chart of the S&P, and we'll do the same thing on all the E-minis that will follow. First, I'm gonna put the high for Friday, which is let's see, this is the high. I'm going to map out the high and the low from Friday, because what I want to see on Monday is, does the market open inside Friday's range, or does it open outside Friday's range, either up or down, because that's going to tell me something about the market and how I might want to play to the long side or to the short side, or maybe I just want to wait and see what sets up if we really don't have any gap in the morning. So I've got those on there, and then I can place our decision point resistance areas using the swings, maybe the high and low from Friday. We also have our 15-minute DPs that we mapped out. And so this is a major swing low back here. We'll put that on there. So I've got this all mapped out ahead of time before the market opens. I've got some roadmap here to work with. And if we have an inside gap inside of, if the market opens inside of Friday's higher and low, the tendency is those gaps will fill, and it's just a matter of being able to find an area of resistance to fill the gap to take a short trade, or support to fill the gap on a long trade. If we get an outside gap to the downside and that gap cannot fill in that first half-hour trading, then we're just looking for an entry to go short, and we'll use our Elliott wave patterns to find a potential wave pattern to get into. And if we get an outside gap to the upside, then we'll be looking for a pullback to get long. If that cannot fill in the first 30 minutes, tells us that there's significant buying pressure in the market, and the market will typically continue to work its way higher the rest of the day, or at least the rest of the morning, sometimes the rest of the day. So when the market opens, we'll look at the gaps. We'll also put on, we'll look to see if there's any current Elliott wave pattern on the chart similar to this. I've just put this on, so as of Friday there was some support. The market came into this wave 2 or B area, and we'll see if we don't get a bounce on Monday at the open, which would be into our wave C target or into our DP. We'll see. If we do open with a gap down, we know where our major supports are on the 15-minute, and we can give us an area that might interest us, especially if we get a nice wave pattern coming into those support or resistance areas. All right, so be watchful this week. Again, markets like to rally into earnings season, which is a couple weeks away, but we do have the end of QE2 coming in just a couple weeks. FOMC meeting this week, Tuesday, Wednesday is the announcement, 12:30 Eastern time. So be on your toes, and we'll see what this week brings. Take care, have a great trading week, and we'll see you back next week.